Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, Tim Keys, and I'm back with another video. And this time I'm going to show you the SQ80 by Arturia. Now, Arturia has done its take on Ensoniq's SQ80. This is a digital synthesizer that used to be out back in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was it was famous for being able to have these digital sounds and waveforms that were ran through an analog filter. So as a result of that, it gave you a lot of, unique sounds and different tones that were hard to come by for that time frame, because most keyboards happened to be back in that time frame either straight digital or straight analog. And keyboards like your Roland D50, I think they had filters, but they didn't have like a true analog filter. The Yamaha DX7 didn't have any filters. Everything was done through FM synthesis entirely. The Korg M1 had digital filters. And so the SQ80, for the time that it was out, stood in a unique position because of what it was able to do. And, this is no exception. 2021, that's big sound. I mean, that sounds pretty slick. You get 3 oscillators to work with. You can, change your voicing right in the front panel. You can adjust things like the octave and the semitone, as well as fine tune it for each of these. You can adjust your filter right in the front. Something that makes working in this synthesizer a lot easier compared to its hardware counterpart. You have an arpeggiator, you have a unison button, and yeah, you get all of the transwaves that were available to this keyboard at that time. It's included. So you have all of the initial SQ80 waveforms on top of the transwaves. Transwaves were kind of like, basically transwaves were like Ensoniq's version of wavetable synthesis. And depending on the keyboard you got, determine the type of features you would have. But basically you were able to morph through sounds, in different ways as you play through the synth. They also have the ESQ1 hidden waves, 222 of them, on top of the SQ80 hidden waves, 179. So you're getting over 400 waveforms out of the gate, on top of all the trans waves, on top of all the SQ80 waveforms, which is very nice. Which it's very nice because anybody who has this hardware unit, that in order to get those additional sounds and wave ROMs, you had to buy the sound cards for the unit. And trying to buy those sound cards today, they may cost you over $100 a pop, depending on where you're looking. So to be able to have this all in its own unit, even though it's in software form, it's really nice. So let's see. I already went over some of these features. You got the filter here. Everything's a lot more, it's a lot more easy to work with compared to the hardware unit where, back in the day, or if you still have your hardware unit, you got the small screen. So you got to do all the programming using that small screen. This makes, sound creation a lot simpler. You get 4 envelopes, and those 4 envelopes can behave in 3 different ways, from the SQ80 envelope type to the MSEG to the DAD SR. And so those lend itself each to different ways of behaving as you're modulating your sound. Envelope 4 is an amplitude envelope. So if you want to change how that sound is moving, then envelope 4 is what you need to use to make those modifications. You have 3 LFOs that you can also use to modulate any of these parameters on the synth, which is nice. You have your DCA 4 amp that can also be adjusted and modulated. You have your fine tune knob. You have up to 16 voices of polyphony. Now, mind you, if you start using the unison, that polyphony goes down. And the higher you go up in your unison, the less polyphony you have overall. So keep that in mind. But if you don't use the unison, you have up to 16 voices. And a workaround around that is, if you have multiple oscillators you're using and you want to kind of make a really kind of fat tone, if you will, you just adjust the fine tuning a little bit, and that's going to help you thicken. That'll help you thicken your sound, and you can save up on your memory as well as your polyphony. So you also have this area right here. We'll call it a mod matrix, but you can use the mod wheel to, not the mod wheel, you can use these parameters to adjust different aspects of your synthesizer, which again is a plus. This layout to me is very much reminiscent of Pigments, but without all of the extra additional features. Where Pigments is like a jack or ace of all trades, and you can do analog, subtractive, additive, wavetable, and so forth. This is more focused, so it makes sound creation a lot more easy compared to something like a Pigments, where Pigments is also fairly easy to use, but you have so many more options that, if you're new to sound design, you can get overwhelmed. Going to the effects, you have quite a few different effects that you can choose from. You have your reverbs, your delays, your choruses, your flangers, your phasers, overdrives. If you want more options for your filters, you use the multi-filter. They give you a low pass, high pass, band pass, comb, feedback, and I don't know what comb FF stands for, pardon me. But you have those options to choose from, and you have different slopes that you can work with, from 12 to 24 to 36. Let's see. High pass, same thing. Comb filter. Yep. So it's a lot more focused and a lot more of a straight shot, but you have a good amount of options to choose from. Let's take a listen to some of the sounds that they have. It's got a lot of bottom to it. That sounds pretty neat. I like that. They have some really nice presets. Got a fair amount of movement going on. I like what they did with that noise and how they use that in LFO to work the filter. And apparently they put it on they put it on quite a few different things. It really helps the sound. They did a good job, the sound design on this. So I'll do one more. Oh. Okay, that's why I'm like, there's a real kick in there, because they actually got a real kick in there. It's pretty good though. Yeah, I mean, this sounds amazing. Um, yeah, sounds pretty good. I don't have any real complaints about this synthesizer. Arturia makes great products, in my opinion. Both their hardware line is pretty good, as well as their software. They tend to do a really good job, in my opinion, of emulating these physical pieces of hardware, and in some cases, or in many cases, adding additional features that you would not find in the original pieces of hardware. And yeah, it just makes working with those, those virtual pieces of software an enjoyable experience, in my opinion. And, if it wasn't for companies like these guys, for those of us who can't necessarily afford like a Moog, or you can't find a real SQ80, they do a good job. They do an excellent job of filling in that space and filling in the gaps so you can have access to that sonic palette. So I would recommend, trying this out. Go on their website, download the demo, play with it. They have an introductory price point for right now. I think it's somewhere between 69 to 99 bucks. If you are a pre-existing Arturia customer and you have their older line, like the Arturia Complete collection, I think like number 7, then if you want to upgrade, you can get everything, the cross grade and the upgrade, at a cheaper price. So if you're on the fence and you're still on like version 8, not version 8, pardon me, version 7 and version 6, it might be worth checking out to see what they offer for an upgrade price, because it might change your mind, but definitely try it out. I think it is a great piece of software. It is a much welcome addition to the product line. I would like to see, one thing I would like to see, and it's not really a deal breaker, but I would like to see them allow you to, kind of like with the ASR10, when you took a sample, you take a sample and you can convert that sample into a transwave out the gate. The SQ80, I don't think it allowed for sampling in real time, but if they had some sort of feature where you could take a sample and allow you to, convert it to a transwave, maybe in version 2, I think that would be excellent. But even if they don't do that, I think it's a great piece of software for what you get. It sounds good. It's easy to make different tones and different sounds out of it. I might do another video showing you some different ways you can use this to make your own patches. But yep, that's all I got for the day. Yep, it's Tim Keys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm out. Peace.